Good evening, YouTube. DutyRon back again here with another video. And tonight we're going live in regards to the shooting today, school shooting in Saugus High School. This is the incident that happened early this morning, California time, in Santa Clarita, Southern California, a pretty affluent school district. We had a shooting go down early this morning. We're going to get involved in speaking about it in detail. Good to see everyone joining. Thank you for coming in, Lee. Hello, Michelle. Good evening, Michelle. Good evening, Miss Jagger. Thank you to all who have joined. Thank you to everyone who came in on the live broadcast that I did from the mobile. I am in my home studio now, which is located in my kitchen, as you guys could see. The U Police sign is courtesy of Matt Sully. Thank you to Matt Sully. Thank you to everyone who supports me through Patreon. Again, today we're going to speak about the Saugus High School shooting incident where there was multiple casualties. The gunman is in grave condition. I don't know if he's going to hold on to survive his self-inflicted injuries, but we're going to speak about it now. We are live, Mary. We are live. Good to see you, Christy. Thanks for joining. Thank you for coming in. Linda, thank you for joining. If you guys don't mind, please invite your followers, share it out onto your social, and join in on the discussion. Again, tonight we have no winners here. I spoke earlier about how I feel in regards to off-duty police, retired police officers, retired military, acting as security agents at the school. I feel that that is an important thing for us to consider. It is definitely something that's going to give an extra layer of protection for our children. We want to send our kids to school and have them safe. We don't want them to go to school and have us have to worry about their safety. Hello, Meg Lowe. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. He did shoot himself in the head, but he is in grave condition, last reported. I don't know. I saw the 6 o'clock California news, 6 p.m., that's 9 p.m. Eastern here, and they still reported him as in grave condition. I'm not sure if there's much that they'll get out of him verbally in the weeks to follow if he survives. He could be brain damaged. He could be, in a condition where he's not going to be able to make a statement. But I feel that, right now what's going to happen is the police investigators from the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Office, the law enforcement there, they've already executed search warrant at the suspect's home. At that search warrant, they are looking for evidence from electronic devices, laptops, cell phones, computers, any type of communication that he had in the early phases of this, and they'll go all the way back as far as they can to look at his social media. He did have an Instagram account where he allegedly posted something in regards to it's not going to be a good day at school, meaning today, and then somebody deleted it. So I don't know what's going on. The police will do the forensic sweep of the computers and all electronic devices, and they'll get down to the bottom of it. 16 years old, today was his birthday, yes. Today was his birthday. Hello, Cat in a Hat, thanks for joining. Barry McBride, good to see you, thanks for joining. I heard it was the shooter's 16th birthday. That is true. That is true. A very sad situation all around. I'm going to play a couple of reports for you guys so you could see some of the impact that this had on the community and some of the people who it is affected. There's text messaging from children inside the school to their parents. Very sad situation, to say the least. I read a couple of the text messages, and it was pretty horrifying to see that. So thank you so much for that, Nancy. I appreciate that. Thank you for the reminder, the thumbs up. Let me share out onto social real quick. Let me send out a tweet fast. and then I'll do a Facebook share. It's not new at all, Melissa. It's not new at all. It's been well documented over a period of time. It is definitely not something new. Definitely not something new. 2 seconds, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me 2 minutes. Hello, Fairly Vague. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just posting in two of my groups real quick. I wish I could get it automatically done, but unfortunately, I got to do this manually. Yes, very sad. I'm going to play some of that for you, Meg. You guys are going to see that here. So, all right, I'm done with that. Thank you so much. Once Upon a Time, Crime in the West. Thank you so much for the super chat. I like to call it super love. Thank you for the super love. Greatly appreciated. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, I had top chat on and not live chat, so I was missing some of the messages. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, there was lots of heroics that were going on during the course of this whole incident. A lot of heroics that happened from all people surrounding in the community. And what I want to talk to you guys about is I want to talk to you guys about the importance of how I always say off-duty police officers, off-duty law enforcement of any type, retired or off-duty, can come into play to save good people. A good guy with a gun is always a great defense against a bad guy with the gun. So, for me, it is important that we all realize that these retired and off-duty police officers being armed is really of the utmost importance to definitely save lives. 3 police officers from various different departments. I think one was an LAPD, the other one was from the actual county where the school was. They were dropping off their kids. 3 off-duty officers came to the assistance. They heard the gunshots after they dropped their children off. They circled back and were the first on scene. Here in New York, we're required to carry our guns off duty while in the city of New York. So while in the city of New York. So at the end of everything, the police here in New York City are always required to carry their firearms when they're off duty, as long as they're not at a bar drinking or anything like that. To recap, I guess some of you guys don't know what happened. There was a school shooting today. A 16-year-old student came into his high school over in California, and Saugus High School is Saugus High School. It's in Southern California. Around 7:45 in California time in the morning, opened fire with a .45 caliber handgun, shooting and killing 2 students, and then turned the gun on himself and shot himself in the head. So that's for anybody who is not aware of what happened here today. I think most of us know, here in the U.S. know, but some people that are outside of the U.S. have no knowledge of it. I did a broadcast about it earlier in the day, and it's near Magic Mountain. Yep, a very nice community. It looked like a very well affluent community. So this is a situation where this kid, we're going to find out more about him through forensics and computer sweeping. They've already gone to his house and removed any laptops, cell phones, any type of electronic communication device, and they're going to find out who he's been texting, who he's been talking to, whether this was premeditated. I understand 2 months prior to the shooting, there were some students that were arrested for making threats against the school. So that was 2 months in the past. I kind of was able to dig that up with some of my sources. So 2 months ago, there was a group of kids that threatened violence against the school on social media. They were arrested, and I'm not sure what their charges were. I'm sure that they didn't, do any jail time or anything like that. But I'm sure the police are going to want to revisit these people, speak to them, and maybe this is just a copycat situation. So I didn't hear anything, Michelle, about a girlfriend. I did not. We will find out more as this story unfolds. So I'm going to play a quick clip for you guys here, and this is going to give you. This is from LA. This is from the LA News as of 6 p.m. tonight. So let me just play this clip real quick for you guys. This is from 6 p.m. tonight.
Some updated information that we now
Let me know how the
have,
volume is for you guys.
Clarified and be able to expand on. And as indicated, the off-duty personnel who have family in the school were in effect the first responders on scene. And I will identify 3 of them. Detective Daniel
Let me know the volume is
Santa
good.
Clarita Sheriff Station Detective Bureau. He had just dropped off a family member at the school and was driving away from the school along the perimeter when he saw all the children running away from at the school and was exiting.
All right, let me just stop this here for a second. This is important that everybody listens to this. This is the Sheriff Alex Villanueva. He's going to describe to you about how these off-duty sheriffs and police officers sprung into action and went running back towards the gunfire. Most of us would hear gunfire and go the other way. These officers, whether they're on or off duty, went straight into the gunfire. So let's just listen up here. I'm not going to take any comments or interact with you guys. So let's listen to this.
Driving away from the school, Sheriff Station Detective Bureau. He had just dropped off a family member at the school and was driving away from the school along the perimeter when he saw all the children running away from the sound of the gunfire. And he turned around and became the very first person on scene. He was accompanied by Officer Sean Yanez from Inglewood Police Department, and then Officer Gus Ramirez from LAPD. So the 3 of them were the very first on scene. They entered the school literally within seconds of the shooting. They were followed within a minute by our uniformed personnel from Santa Clarita Sheriff Station. At approximately 7:41 a.m., they were on scene inside the quad area where the shooting took place. And as indicated earlier, there was trauma kits available at the school for mass casualties. They were deployed by these personnel. Then Deputy James Callahan, who's a Santa Clarita school resource deputy assigned to the school, was there moments later, and he assisted in this process. So this is it's a tragedy every way you look at it, but there's a silver lining behind this, is the fact that off-duty first responders were there and did not hesitate, turned around and went right into the source of the gunfire to attempt to neutralize it. And they rendered first aid immediately. As soon as they discovered the 6 victims, they saw the handgun was there, they realized there was not a pending threat immediately, and they tended to the care of all of the victims and got the first aid rolling. So their actions definitely saved lives, and my hat's off to them. And it's an important message for everyone who's listening to this, and you're concerned you have your children. I have my grandchildren of that same age in school. We always wonder what's going to happen. How do we keep our kids safe? But it's good to know that there's men and women out there as first responders and law enforcement and fire departments that are going to go to the source of the danger. They're going to put themselves in harm's way, and they're going to definitely take care of business. So that is a good it's a good message. Let people know that we can handle these. As tragic as these events are, we're definitely Now we're in the recovery phase. We're just initiating the investigative process. So I'm going to turn it over now to Captain Ken Wegner, Homicide Bureau.
Thank you, Sheriff. I just want to briefly update you on the investigation as it takes place today. Investigators are proceeding with the interview process of the victims and the witnesses that were identified from the school. However, we also realize that there are those that left the scene as soon as possible, maybe picked up by parents and went directly home. If there is anyone out there that has information that was a witness, that has information either from today or historical information about the circumstances leading up to this shooting, I encourage them to call Sheriff's Homicide Bureau at area code 323-890-5500. We will take your name and information, and we will have sheriff's investigators respond to your location to interview you about the information that you have. I spoke earlier about a search warrant that was pending at the 22900 block of Sycamore Creek Drive in Santa Clarita. I can report that that search warrant has been signed and has been served, and investigators are processing what we believe to be the suspect's residence for any indicia, any evidence related to this incident. I also want to acknowledge, and I believe most of you have reported on this, posting on the bio of what we believe to be the subject's Instagram account. And I quote, it says underneath his pseudonym, Saugus, have fun at school tomorrow. I can confirm that that was posted on his account, and I can also confirm that it has been changed since this incident, which means there is somebody else that has access to this account, be it a hacker or be it a friendly who has his password. So that was posted at one point, and we are aware of it, and we are researching the source, when it was placed, and when it was taken down. We have not yet established a motive or a nexus between the subject and his victims, other than to say they were all students at the high school together. At this point, I would like to introduce Paul Delacourt from the FBI.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Delacourt, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office. I know I speak for all the FBI personnel by offering our deepest condolences to the families and friends of the innocent children who lost their lives today, and the families and friends of those who are seriously injured as well. The FBI is continuing to provide assistance to the LA County Sheriffs in terms of investigative resources and technical resources, digital media exploitation, social media exploitation, and the personnel necessary to support any other leads that where we can assist. At this time, we have no reason to believe that the subject was acting on behalf of any other group or any ideology. We have no reason to believe there's any threat or any co-conspirators at this time. But this is day one of the interviews and the exploitation, and things could change. The investigation, of course, is ongoing. We will be thorough alongside the Sheriff's Department to follow any leads that we can to leave no stone unturned.
All right, guys, so you heard that they are still obviously going to be looking at every angle. So let me just say thank you to Ron Daniels for the $20 super chat on the sticker. Hello to Chili Man. Thank you so much for coming in. Lee, thank you for coming in. Nancy, thanks for being in on the broadcast. Daphne, always a pleasure. Officer Mac, checking in from Ohio. Amber, thank you for coming in. Cat in a Hat, great to see you. There's many, many facets to this situation. Mental illness has a very big part to play in it, and I'm going to speak about that shortly. Melissa, thank you so much for coming in. Michelle Vogel here already. Shady Lady, I love that screen name. Good to see you, Shady Lady. So yeah, I think I'm all caught up on the chat. I wanted you guys to listen to what they said, and basically what you have is 3 police officers who sprung in on their off-duty, sprung in to take care of a situation where there were shots being fired. Those are brave police officers going out there to do their thing. So that is awesome in itself. I'm going to let you guys watch one more quick clip. This is a short one. Hello, Dell88. Thank you so much for coming on in.
There's no taco like the Del Taco.
I'm going to spare you that commercial. I got to play the commercials because sometimes the pop-up blocker doesn't work. So we're going to play it, and it is over. Del Taco, everybody.
Realize that there are those that left. I just want to briefly update you on the investigation as it takes place today. Investigators are proceeding with the interview process of the victims and the witnesses that were identified from the school. However, we also realize that there are those that left the scene as soon as possible, maybe picked up by parents and went directly home. If there is anyone out there that has information that was a witness, that has information either from today or historical information about the circumstances leading up to this shooting, I encourage them to call Sheriff's Homicide Bureau at area code 323-890-5500. We will take your name and information, and we will have Sheriff's investigators respond to your location to interview you about the information that you have. I spoke earlier about a search warrant that was pending at the 22900 block of Sycamore Creek Drive in Santa Clarita. I can report that that search warrant has been signed and has been served, and investigators are processing what we believe to be the suspect's residence for any indicia, any evidence related to this incident. I also want to acknowledge, and I believe most of you have reported on this, a posting on the bio of what we believe to be the subject's Instagram account. And I quote, it says underneath his pseudonym, Saugus, have fun at school tomorrow. I can confirm that that was posted on his account, and I can also confirm that it has been changed since this incident, which means there is somebody else that has access to this account, be it a hacker or be it a friendly who has his password.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there for a second. So basically, he posted something on Instagram, as he just stated, have fun in school tomorrow. So, the wording on his account was changed. So now they're going to look for co-conspirators, because if he shot himself in the head, I'm sure he didn't have time to change his Instagram status. So they're going to be looking at anybody who was indirectly or directly involved in him planning this. If there's a girlfriend or if there's a friend who got into his account, the news was saying, oh, maybe his Instagram was hacked. That's a bunch of bullcrap. So, I feel at the end of the day, all of these reports right now, she won everything, are preliminary. They did a search warrant at the subject's home. So they confiscated all of his computers, laptop, any type of devices, Xbox, anything that he played online. They'll do a complete forensic sweep of it. The computer crime squad, the FBI is probably going to get involved in this one, as we heard from them on the video. They were just talking. FBI is involved. They're going to look at every angle on this kid, and they're going to look at everything that he has looked up as far back as they can go. So there's going to be probably a plethora of information from his electronic devices. You can't get rid of that, as we all know. So computer crimes is going to, they're already sprung into action. They're going to look up all of his social media posts, anything that he has been anyone that he's been corresponding with will be questioned, and this case is going to go perhaps in a couple of different directions. Tomorrow we should probably hear more about different angles of this. I don't think that Instagram account was fake. I think that it probably was his Instagram, and these early reports, everyone is making speculations just to throw twists into the mix. When you want to get decent information, look for the law enforcement updates. The information that the police put out tends not to be anything that's going to be BS, if you know what I mean. So if you want to get good info, don't look on the internet for information that anybody else speaks about. You're getting it right here from a retired New York City police detective, but also look for the live updates. The police departments nowadays are pretty transparent, and they give out the information as much as they can without, jeopardizing an investigation. I think this investigation is straightforward. So I'm going to continue just another 3 minutes of this. Actually, another 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Posted at one point, and we are aware of it, and we are researching the source, when it was placed, and when it was taken down. We have not yet established a motive or a nexus between the subject and his victims, other than to say they were all students at the high school together. At this point, I would like to introduce Paul Delacourt from the FBI.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Delacourt, the Assistant Director.
So we saw this already,
of the
so I'm going to
Los
stop
Angeles
this.
Field Office. I know I
Let me just go
leads
forward.
that
We already
beats that
saw what he
can
had to
leave
say.
no sentence for a cross-disciplinary whole.
Let me see. I got one more thing here. I want to see these text messages. All right. Even though I hate CNN, I'm going to play this.
We're waiting outside of the locker room because it wasn't open yet. And all of a sudden, we were with all of our friends, and we heard the gunshots, and we just were like, let's go, let's run.
You're welcome, Abigail.
You won't let go of your daughter.
No, I'm scared. It was very scary. We ran, we heard the one shot, and then 4 after, and we just started running, and just all I heard was all these kids running and just screaming and calling their parents. I heard the first 2 shots, and I was kind of confused. But then when I heard the third one, I just started running with my friends, and then 4 other shots went off.
Okay, can you just stay there, Sean? And we'll walk there to you. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna walk to get you. Don't move, please. You just need to be in my arms right now, okay?
Everyone was scattering all over the place. It was everywhere. Everyone was screaming. People were falling down and tripping all over the place. It was just horrible.
Detectives have reviewed the video at the scene, which clearly show the subject in the quad withdraw a handgun from his backpack, shoot and wound 5 people, and then shoot himself in the head. There are no other subjects who are outstanding as part of this incident or who took part in this assault.
We're waiting outside of the locker room because it wasn't open yet.
All right, guys. There's one more thing here. I completely understand purple sneakers. Completely understand. Anybody that's sensitive to this stuff, you should probably step out. Yeah, here we go.
When we got engaged, we had no idea where to start.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking, but this is part of what you need to know what these people are going through, and this is something that is important to speak about. It's important to speak about this because these are the victims as well. These are the victims that are left behind.
There's next to almost no students left over there, so maybe this is the last group of students being reunited this morning, which is fantastic to see for these families.
Yeah, I don't think any of those parents want to let go. And that text message that mom mentioned, I love you and you're safe, that look on their face, Mark.
Look at that. Let's see. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, another mom here.
I'm gonna talk about
tears
that,
in your
Kathy.
eye, tears of happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sadness because we heard someone has passed away. So
You look like a medical professional, a nurse of some sort.
I'm actually a school nurse in a different district.
Oh, wow.
Having that training, being on a school campus in general, this has to be so real for you, knowing the danger that we now live in. When you first found out, what was it? Was it a text from your student? Was it a text from the school?
Yeah, my daughter texted me saying, "I love you, Mom. I hope I get to see you again." So yeah, it was heartbreaking.
You knew it was real at that point, obviously.
Yes, I did.
The emotions right now, I mean, we see it. I'm a parent with a new kid at home.
Right.
Can you even put it into words what the last few hours have been like?
Just on edge, very much on edge. Texting the girls quite often, trying to make sure that they were okay. Their teacher kept them safe in a nice secluded room, thank God. They did what they needed to do to stay safe, and I'm very, very happy and grateful for all the school staff that kept our kids safe.
Look, we love all of our communities here in Southern California, but standing here this morning, this community seems really special.
It is. It's a wonderful community. It's a very tight-knit community. We all love each other's kids like they're our own.
Is there then that mindset that this can happen anywhere? Was there an issue at Saugus High?
No, I would never have imagined Saugus High being a place that this would have ever happened. Even though I know that's very cliche, because everybody says that when this happens. But yeah, we never would have imagined this in our community, ever.
May I ask your daughter, and how many daughters did you have? Was it 2 or just the one?
2. That one there, and this one here.
May I ask you, now that you're here now with your mom, it's been a few hours, maybe take us back to the beginning. This was early in the morning.
Yeah.
What do you remember? Did you hear the gunshots?
I didn't hear it, but I was sitting in our room, and then one of my good friends came in, and there were a couple of them. They all looked really panicked, and one of them started crying, saying there were gunshots, and so my teacher reacted very quickly, and we were all ushered into a locked room.
When the teacher says, those are gunshots, you hear those stories, I thought it was fireworks, I thought it was a balloon popping. Did you recognize immediately?
Thank you, Marianne.
I didn't hear
Thank
them,
you,
but
Purple Sneakers.
I could tell
Greatly
from
appreciate the
the
super love.
look
Thank you.
that my friends gave that it was serious, because it definitely wasn't just one shot, and it probably wasn't. It has a different sound than like fireworks or balloons, so I believe them.
Did the training help? Because I know it happens on campus.
It helped a lot. We all knew, like, oh, stay off your phones, oh, be quiet, and we all reacted very quickly, so it did help.
I didn't get your name.
My name's Isla.
You got to be proud of Isla here as a mom to stand here and hear her explain everything and the training.
Absolutely. I am proud of both of my girls. I'm sure they both kept their cool and did exactly what they were told to do. I'm glad.
And Isla, we've been careful not to confirm because we can't, but we believe that it was a student, this young girl who passed.
Yes.
Students we know text, they talk. Have you heard yet? Does anybody know who she is?
I haven't heard anything.
Glad you're okay, and I always say not under these circumstances, but...
All right, so that's going to be pretty much it from the news reports, because most of this is redundant. There was another one that showed some of the text messages, and I'm not going to show that. But you guys get the gist of this. So let me just close this out here. All right, guys, I'm back. So again, I spoke earlier today in regards to how I felt about getting a system put in place. A lot of school districts have metal detectors, but a lot don't. Okay, so when you have our houses of worship, our places of higher education, our high schools, our middle schools, our grade schools, our kindergarten, look at what happened over in Sandy Hook, those poor little babies slaughtered at the hands of a psychotic maniac, homicidal maniac. Nothing has been done substantially to change what is protecting our kids at school. So my plea, which was today, and I've said it many times on live streams, I am asking the politicians and people, the powers that be, Stop talking about gun control and gun control laws, because all the laws that you could put on the books is not going to prevent this from happening. We need to take action. We need to take action by putting a layer of protection in the schools to protect our kids. And if we don't do that, then we're going to have more of this happening in the future. And that's a fact. I'm not saying that to be negative. That is a fact. You have hundreds of thousands of retired law enforcement professionals like myself who are ready, willing, and able and capable of protecting our kids. We are highly trained. We know use of deadly physical force. Give them a refresher course, whether it takes 2 or 3 weeks or whatever the time frame is. Get them retrained on school environment. Get them out there and let them be the first line of defense for our children who are defenseless. They're in school to learn. I saw text messages of kids texting their moms and dads saying, "I love you," and that I'm never going to see you again. I spared you guys that. I spared you guys those text messages, but I read them and they were horrifying. It was horrifying to read that. You know, you have military personnel who are trained. You got law enforcement. The federal government has to get off their ass and stop sitting on all of these resources and put them to work. They got to put them to work. And if they don't, we're going to have continued slaughters going on at our schools. So anybody here that agrees with me, put a 1 in the chat for armed security protection at our schools to protect our children. If you don't agree with me, you can. I understand. There's going to be many people that don't want this, but this to me is a way to make our children safe. And no politician is talking about this. They're talking about taking guns away, and there's even talk about retired and off-duty police officers not being able to carry their guns. If that wasn't the case here, you would have 3 guys who ran back to save their kids without any weapons on them. Now, they didn't have to fire their weapons, but a good guy with a gun is definitely better than a bad guy with a gun. It's our only line of defense. It's our first line of defense, and we need our first responders. We need our off-duties. We need our retired guys like myself. I know I am armed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I carry my gun with me everywhere I go, and I carry it for very good reason. I carry my gun for very good reason, for things like this. If I heard gunshots at a school or anywhere, I would go and run to it to investigate it. I wouldn't run away from it. So, having somebody like myself out there is just a layer of protection for people, for regular civilians. And men and women like myself are an asset to the government. They can employ these people who are retired and put them in our schools and put them to work keeping our kids safe. I don't know why any of these politicians up in the Capitol, they got to take their heads out of their ass and start trying to figure out something. But writing laws and putting gun legislation on the books is not going to stop these type of incidents. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all one word, DutyRon. I have a website, DutyRon.com. Go check that out. And if you're interested in sending me a message or an email privately, my email is listed in my website and on all of my social media. There's links down below in my description on how to get a hold of me off of social media. Thank you, Sophia Howard, for the thumbs up. If you haven't given this stream a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. I have another component to what I want to speak to you guys about. First, I want to show you an item that I bought for myself. I was at the car wash the other day and I saw this. This is a piece of it's like a hard wood. Actually, it might even be like something that you'd see in a kiln. What is that called? Pottery. I think it's like pottery. It's not wood, but it's the American flag with the thin blue line, and it says valor, duty, and honor. This is a great thing. I bought this for myself. Yeah, it's like ceramic. Thank you, Kathy. Or maybe resin, like Cinnamon Hot Hot said. So this is, hello Tabitha, good to see you. So I'm going to give you guys a good look at this up close. Valor, duty, and honor. I had to get it. I had to buy it for myself. So again, this is the sign from Matt Sully. He's in the chat right there. Matt Sully, him and his daughter bought me this You Police sign. It's a part of my show. I put it in every one of my broadcasts. So my other component that I want to speak about is the mental illness issue in our country. The mental illness in our country is astounding. Now, I could tell you when I became a police officer in 1991, I was shocked. This is 28 years ago. Guys, 28 years ago, I became a police officer, and I was shocked how many mentally ill people are walking the streets. Just in the area I worked, which was Brownsville, Brooklyn, I was getting calls dozens at a time every shift for emotionally disturbed people, for people acting irrational, and it was a shocking thing to me. I never thought in a million years that that existed to that extent, and that's just in one precinct. I play the police scanner for you guys a lot when we listen to the calls, and you hear the calls for emotionally disturbed people. Now, this in no way, shape, or form is putting anybody down that suffers from any type of emotional disturbance or any type of, mental health issues. I'm just saying that this is something that gets swept under the rug, and it's a big, big problem because it contributes a high rate of mental health issues contribute to these type of situations. Because think about it. Anybody who goes out and says, I'm going to put a gun in my backpack, or I'm going to take a gun or an assault rifle, and I'm going to go shoot a bunch of people up, they can't be playing with a full deck. They cannot be mentally and emotionally sound. So mental health is another component that I would be more concerned about than writing gun control laws. If I was a politician, I would concentrate on beefing up the security at all of our institutions, our houses of worship, because we have mosques and, Catholic churches, synagogues getting shot up. This stuff is not just for schools. This is happening everywhere. So we need to start securing up our houses of worship, our schools, and all of our institutions where mass groups assemble, and also taking the component of mental health and addressing that forthwith, sooner than later. Hello, Kathy from Texas. Good to see you. I'm going to play, if you are squeamish, I'm telling you right now, exit this video, because I'm going to play for you an example of what's going on in the state of California as far as mental health goes. I'm going to play a 3 to 4 minute clip, maybe less, of a disturbing trend of what's happening in California. It's going on here in New York, and it's probably going on in a major city near you. But if you're a little squeamish and you are not, thank you, Meg. You may as well, you should go, because this is going to be disturbing. I'm putting a disclaimer out there. I'm going to play a quick clip, and I want you guys to pay attention to this. So give me 2 seconds to set it up. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Just steps away from the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a horrifying random attack.
A homeless man dumped a bucket of stuff on your head.
A bucket of his diarrhea. I didn't want it to be in my mouth, but it was running down my eyes.
For over a year, the NBC4i team has been tracking crimes where the suspects are homeless. Tonight, we have learned those incidents are skyrocketing. Investigative reporter Joel Grover reports on the growing threat linked to the untreated mental illness and drug addiction on LA's streets of shame.
Keep your eye on the woman walking out of this apartment building. A homeless man approaches
Look at this girl.
and suddenly smacks her in the head. There are now thousands of crimes a year like this one in which the suspects are homeless and in many cases suffering from mental illness or substance abuse.
It's so traumatic. Sorry.
Heidi Van Tassel was walking to her car near Hollywood's Walk of Fame when, according to police and court records, a transient with schizophrenia and psychotic disorders dumped feces all over her.
A bucket of his diarrhea. It was liquid, hot liquid. I was soaked, and I couldn't see it was coming off of my eyelashes into my eyes.
Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, and she now needs to be tested for infectious diseases every 3 months.
It's something I won't ever forget. It was disgusting.
For over a year, the I-Team has been reporting on crimes where the suspects are homeless, like this guy arrested for setting fire to chairs at a downtown steakhouse, and this homeless man pushing someone in front of a truck. There were more than 6,000 of these reported crimes in LA in 2017. By the end of 2018, the number of crimes was up more than 50%. And now we've learned the numbers are on track to climb even higher this year. We found case after case where the suspects suffer from mental illness or methamphetamine abuse. Meth use has been linked to violence, and so is untreated mental illness.
How could you live in this kind of environment and be okay?
You mean mentally okay?
Mentally okay.
Reverend Andy Bales runs the Union Rescue Mission. Does life on the streets lead to violent behavior?
Absolutely.
Like the attack on that woman on a downtown LA street. Keep watching. Just seconds later, the man punched another victim, attorney Brandon Cohen. Were you kind of in shock when it happened?
What was shocking was that I lived here for 4 years and it didn't happen sooner.
We found the homeless who are arrested for these crimes are often right back on the streets without getting any treatment or help.
I am always on the lookout.
We discovered that Brandon Cohen's attacker, Charles Fuller, had 4 previous felony convictions. But after he attacked Cohen, the cops simply gave him a citation for battery and let him go. 4 months later, a block away, a similar attack against this mother and daughter, though the police didn't make an arrest, so the suspect wasn't identified.
They need treatment for be it drugs or mental illness. Nobody touch it.
Like Jose Rio Frio, who made headlines in New York for stalking a TV anchor. He moved to LA, where he was convicted of threatening to kill a security guard. Last May, he wandered away from this psychiatric facility and has since been on the LAPD's missing persons list. But the I-Team found him hiding in plain sight, sitting day after day, yelling at people from this Hollywood bus bench. Right now, you're still suffering from mental health issues.
Yeah, sure.
It was awful. And it changed my life.
Heidi Van Tassel says she's experiencing PTSD from that attack 7 months ago.
It's changed the way I feel walking on the street.
Court records show her attacker was charged with battery and taken to jail.
He doesn't need jail time, he needs mental health care. I have empathy for him because...
All right, so, you know, this is, I just had to play that to make an example of how severe this mental health crisis is. Sass Murray, when the videos are playing, I'm not looking at the chat, and a lot of times the chat goes by kind of quick. So please do not get offended if you're still here or if you watch the replay. I never intentionally ignore anybody. So I hope you're still here. You're a big part of my of the DutyRon family. So I apologize for not, you know, getting right to you on the comments. I don't like to actually comment while a video is being played. I'm trying to get some points across. So again, you know, I hope all you guys understand that I'm just trying to make a point here. So Chris said that the guy that was pushed in front of the truck was from another country. It doesn't matter. You know, all of this was reported out of Los Angeles. Whether they threw in a little fluff, that's part of the game that they do. But you guys get the idea of what I'm saying. You have repeat offenders that are not treated. They're not getting treatment at the hospital, or they're not getting the proper treatment. Deinstitutionalization of mentally ill happened in 1974, where they were all released from the hospital. But this video gives you a prime example of how dangerous it is to be out there. People are getting injured and killed. There's a couple of instances where we had mentally defective people here in New York City push people in front of trains down in the subway. So if you're going about your business and you are minding your own business, you have to pay attention to everything that's going on around you. But anyways, I sent myself a $10 super chat sticker. That's how much I like those stickers. I wanted to see one of those. I never received one of those, what I just sent. So I've received other stickers, but I never received that one. So I just clicked on it and it sent. I touched the button. I just touched the button to look at it, and I inadvertently bought my own super chat. So that was a first for me. It was pretty funny, actually, I thought. So Kathy, in 1974, the mental asylums, the incarceration of mentally ill was deinstitutionalized in 1974. So yeah, isn't that funny, AD? So those of you who are from Los Angeles or from the state of California, you could go up to San Francisco and see people defecating in the street and urinating all over the place. It happens here in New York City. She Won Everything. Thank you so much. Hey guys, She Won Everything might not be for everybody, and neither am I, but I happen to like her channel. I love her uploads. She's a little shy to do the lives, but her uploads is a dry sense of humor that I love, and I get her. Like, she makes me laugh. So I always go over to She Won Everything, and when she uploads a video, if I have the time, and it's usually only about 10 minutes, she's very conscious to keep it like in a short period of time. I go over and I watch her stuff and I laugh. I get a couple of laughs, and she's serious, but the way she presents her stuff is pretty cool. I like her a lot. She's a newfound friend. Michelle, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, Michelle, for the $4.99 super sticker. She does, Katie. She cracks me up. And you're worth a lot more than 10, brother. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Nancy Drew says, government does not want to provide sufficient funds for mentally ill. Release many from programs before they're ready. I agree, 100%. Her name is right up here in the yellow, the super chat sticker. It is She Won Everything. She Won Everything. If you click on the yellow sticker at the top, it's to the right of Michelle's. You'll see her name. You could click on it and you could go and subscribe to her channel. I know, that's true, Laura, that's true. So we have an ongoing problem. Yeah, the stickers are awesome. Whoever thought of them up at YouTube headquarters, kudos to you. That's a great job on the stickers. I loved it. Cool. Thank you, Katie, for subscribing to her channel. You won't be disappointed. So let me look at some of the chat. If you're new into my broadcast, if you're new here to DutyRon, let me know where you're watching, your city, state, or your country, and I'll give you a quick shout out. So please speak up and let me know. If you're a first-time viewer, I'd like to say hello and introduce you to the crew. I was a teacher for over 35 years. I had many students who were struggling with mental issues. We were not allowed to speak. I got you. A lot of times your hands are tied as a teacher in that profession. There's so many rules and regulations you got to follow. There's Michelle saying, "Welcome to the DutyRon family." So I guess it's all repeat. I guess it's all repeat people. Hello, Mav. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everything that you do, and thank you for all the communication behind the scenes. Greatly appreciate that, Mav, for you communicating with me. Let's see, who else is here? She's from California, Mav Barena. She's cool, good people. Daphne, you are not new. Stickers are from the Apple Care. They not got a receipt with them from mine. I don't know about the Apple Care. I'm in Flint, Michigan, says Michelle. Not my first time, though, but thank you for letting us know where you're watching from. Excellent. Thank you, Cat in a Hat. Nancy Drew, she won everything. I was just subscribed to you for a while now. So, okay, good. Not that many new people. Great to have everyone in on this live stream. We're live about 54 minutes. I'm going to cut it short now. I don't want to overstay my welcome. San Diego, California, longtime subscriber. Thank you, A.D. Thank you so much, A.D. K. Lo, not new, but happy to catch you live. Gail from Boston. Love and respect to you, Gail. I'm from Washington, says Golfer Gal. I remember that name. I've taught at school, and they had, I've taught at a school they had a shooting. Wow. Hello from the UK. Not managed to catch a live in a while. Pauline, good to see you. Thank you for joining. That won't answer the problem, Gail. Even closing mail ordering guns is not going to stop it, because when you have laws on the books that imprison people for selling drugs, that doesn't stop the illegal sale of drugs. So my point is all the paper in the world is not going to make a difference here. We definitely have to step up our security, and we have to step up our mental health game. We need to step it all up. Hi, just got on. I'm guessing you're almost done. Yes, Addie's mom, sorry. I'm live 56 minutes already. So 56 minutes, you're going to have to, unfortunately, watch the replay. I'm getting ready to close because I got to go to bed. I got to get some beauty sleep. I got to work on it. So tomorrow, I'm going to get a haircut. I'm going to get a nice fresh haircut tomorrow. And I'm going to start my weekend off the right way with a nice fresh shave. So I'm going to take care of that, square myself away. Guns are on the street. Gangs all get them easily. Correct, Amundo, Nancy Drew. I know from being a retired New York City police officer and detective that guns and gangs go hand in hand. It is what it is. Thank you. I wrestled 3 bears, says great channel. Awesome. Thank you so much. Mav, I appreciate you more than you know. And you and I are going to get together, and we're going to talk a little bit more. And I got some follow-ups to do. I don't want to call you out here in front of 60 people or so. So we will definitely, you and I we need to collaborate and talk about a new video that I'm going to do. Actually, a follow-up to a crime case up out of Canada. Mav has a personal attachment to that crime case, and we're gonna talk about it together. So I'm gonna get my Zoom all connected here into my studio, and we'll talk about it. So guys, in closing, I just want to say this: we need to do better. Our government, our people, our politicians. Write to your local politicians, write to the people up in the Capitol at Washington. I like to call it the puzzle palace, because they don't know what the F they're doing. They're a bunch of kooky people who run around in circles, and they talk a lot of good game, but they don't deliver anything. Write them letters, let them know that you're disgusted with what's going on, and demand that they do something to change this epidemic of school shootings, mass shootings, our mental health crisis. There needs to be a fix, and a fix needs to happen sooner than later. So again, my name is DutyRon, retired New York City police detective. I appreciate each and every one of you is coming in. Hello, Rouse Trucking. I'm on my way out the door. Which hair? On the front of the head or the back? All. I'm gonna do all of this here, and then I'm gonna leave this. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's my game plan. So we're gonna close, guys. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all one word, DutyRon. My website is DutyRon.com. Very simple, very easy, simple and easy. So You're awesome as well, Golfer Gal. Thank you so much. Stephanie, thank you for being in here. Thank you to Katie, my moderators, Mary Swampy. Always a pleasure to have you. I'm going to be covering a lot of different things. I'm going to be going over a lot of different cases, but this one threw me off. I needed to go live and I needed to do a follow-up. So again, if you haven't watched the full video, watch the replay, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Love and respect from New York City. From DutyRon, my house to yours. Love you guys.